How's it going, guys? Once again, I'm Peter with PhoneTechNet, bringing you a look at my new daily driver of a ROM, the LiquidSmooth Rom, as I'll show you. It's booting up there. It really surprised me. I didn't think that I would find another ROM to replace the pack ROM that I use, the Paranoid, AOKP, and Cyanogen, because it was the best of all worlds. Are there a couple features missing? Yeah, I can live without them, and just the smoothness and the couple features it has are worth it to me. So let's take a look at it. Okay, so the actual ROM itself features your typical 4.2.2. Well, I guess it's based off 4.2.2. Typical Android features. I'll show you here. I've added this nav bar on the bottom because I enjoy it. You know, the Note 2 is a big phone, and I feel like sacrificing that little bar or that little space is not that much to ask for. It just makes it a little easier to use with one hand. So let's go into the actual settings here. So you've got your typical, whatever settings there, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. And then you have your LiquidSmooth interface. You can change your custom carrier label, which I'll give you an example of what that is. Let's just do, I like turtles. So what that does, or did, is, there we go. Right there, it's not much, but you can just change what your little drop-down bar says, really. It's a goofy little thing. I think it's kind of neat. Most of the time I do use a two-finger swipe, so I guess it's not that useful. Hardware keys, you can kind of choose what you want them to do, or disable them as well. Notification drawer, it's just your typical notifications up here. Clock widget, obviously just your clock, change how it looks. Let us see here. Your Pi controls, this does allow you to use the Pi, and if you don't know what that is, I will give you an example of it. Actually, I haven't used it yet, so maybe we'll save that for another time because I'll have to set it up first. So going back to some of the features, performance, you can kind of mess with the performance. You can under or overclock it. I choose to leave it as it is because, I don't have any issues with my phone. If I start seeing some performance issues, that's when I'll tweak it a little bit. The power menu is simply just this right here. What do you want on there? Actually, I'm going to take airplane mode off because I have airplane mode on my drop-down bar. Power widgets. Actually, I don't even know what that is. I don't use it. Quick settings, which is just this right here. I have some of my favorite contacts right there, obviously. Quick pull down. No notifications. Just turn off any notifications that you might receive in your top bar. One of the most useful things, believe it or not, is, and I'm glad they added it, it was from a Cyanogen mod build recently, it's just the ability to swipe left and right and kind of see between the screens. It's a really neat little thing that is, I think, unique to Cyanogen mod. And then you have just a normal, advanced settings for, Galaxy Note 2, haptic feedback, a couple different screen things. You can have multiple profiles on it if you choose, but if you have a cell phone, I would imagine that you're not going to be sharing it with people that way. Super user, which applications you've allowed super user authority, your typical accessibilities, developer options. In case you didn't know, in order to access developer options, you have to go down to the build member, tap it repeatedly, and obviously I already have it, so it tells me there's no need to enable them because they're already enabled. If you don't know that, you probably shouldn't be kind of going into this whole custom ROM world just yet because it's a pretty basic thing, honestly. So then you have your typical wireless and networks. The biggest thing is, as the name implies, it's just LiquidSmooth. I have my transitions a little differently to make them nice and quick, but everything is very responsive. I have yet to see a hiccup, and honestly, on the Note 2 itself, I haven't seen much of a lag. Very once in a while. It's really rare that I see one, but every once in a while I do. Again, very rare. It uses a Nova launcher, so it kind of gets you as close as you can without officially having the Android or stock Android feel. So, it tells you which direction you want to scroll. I have it as close as I can to stock, except for the actual transitions, which I'll go through just to make them a little slower. Now, the S Pen is unfortunately not enabled, and you can use it as a typical stylus, but the digitizer is basically rendered useless. It's not going to recognize different amounts of pressure or anything fancy like that. It's just a typical stylus, which you cannot use on another phone or iPad or something. I've tried it. You can't use this S Pen on anything but this Note 2 or maybe another Note 2. All I've tried is an iPad, and I'm just assuming the same applies. So it's a very stock feel because that's what it's going for. Aside from that, I really just like the fluidity of it. I may go back to pack ROM, but I kind of like it, and I kind of like the little change of pace feel, a little blue messaging icon there. And yes, you can change it, but it's just nice to have it done for you. And I'm giving them all a try. So far, this and the pack ROM have definitely been my favorite. When the next build of pack comes out, I'll probably get that one instead. But until then, we will find out. Alright, so that has been a look at the LiquidSmooth Rom 4.2.2 for my Verizon Note 2. If you have any questions, again, feel free to leave me a comment. I'm starting to get a little more advanced. I'd like my videos to be put together a little bit better, and part of that has to do with the fact that I've managed to squeeze in some time to where I can make and edit videos in my hectic schedule. So, if you've got questions, leave them down below, like it, or whichever side it is. Again, if you want to subscribe, go ahead. I'd like to keep you up to date. I am planning on doing a video on the Galaxy S4, just talking about it a little bit, and then once I get my hands on it, obviously an in-depth review, look at it, all the features, and I'll cover a little bit of the features in my actual just talking about it video first, and then show you when I get my hands on one when they come out. So, that has been the LiquidSmooth Rom. I'm Peter, saying thanks for watching, and see you later.